Welcome students in the Organic Chemistry online lecture series. Today in this video we are going to study about the concept of anti-aromaticity. In previous few videos I have explained in detail about the aromaticity. In this video we have to see about this concept, that is anti-aromaticity. So one thing I will explain here, and that is anti-aromaticity and aromaticity. These two concepts have a very large difference. Okay, so if we consider aromatic compounds, then we know that they are cyclic compounds. Okay, they are cyclic compounds. They are conjugated compounds. So we can say again they are planar compounds. So planar means each carbon is having sp2 hybridization. Okay, so that is called as planar. And the last but one, they obeys Haeckel rule of 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Okay, so if compound has all these four characteristics, then that compound is called as aromatic compound. And aromatic compounds are highly stable compounds because they have very less energy due to all these criteria. So they are cyclic, they are conjugated, they are planar, that means each atom is having sp2 hybridization, and they obey Haeckel rule of 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Now what is anti-aromatic compounds? Anti-aromatic, that we have to see. So remember here that all these three criteria are same in case of anti-aromatic compound also. So they are cyclic as well. Okay, so anti-aromatic compounds are also a cyclic compounds. Again they are conjugated compounds. Again they are planar. Okay, only the fourth rule, that is Haeckel rule, is different. They do not obey Haeckel rule. They do not obey the Haeckel rule. They have 4n pi electrons. So this is the only difference between the aromatic compounds and anti-aromatic compounds. So once again I will explain. Both aromatic compounds as well as anti-aromatic compounds are cyclic. Both are cyclic, remember. Then both aromatic compounds and anti-aromatic compounds are conjugated. That means they have alternate single and double bond. Again, both aromatic compounds and anti-aromatic compounds are planar. That means each atom is having sp2 hybridization. Here also anti-aromatic compounds are planar. But the only difference, and the very major difference, is that aromatic compounds obeys Haeckel rule of 4n plus 2 pi electrons, whereas anti-aromatic compound do not obey Haeckel rule. They have 4n pi electrons. Okay. Now I will explain with a simple example. If we consider this simple example of aromatic compound, that is benzene. Okay, so you will find here that this benzene is cyclic. Okay, this is cyclic. Again there is alternate single and double bond, so it is conjugated. Okay, again each carbon is having sp2 hybridization, so it is planar. And if we count the number of pi electrons, so 3 pi bonds are there, that means 6 pi electrons are there. 6 pi electrons, and these 6 pi electrons are according to 4n plus 2, because if we take n is equal to 1, then this 4n plus 2 value becomes 6 pi electrons. So we can say the benzene is aromatic. Okay, but now if we consider this example. Okay, so this is a cyclobutadiene. Okay, so here is a cyclobutane. So here is a two double bonds are there in the cyclobutane. Now if you consider this cyclobutane, then you will find here that this cyclobutane is again cyclic. We will check all the criteria. See, this is cyclic. Again, it has alternate single and double bond, so we can say it is conjugated. Again, we will see each carbon is having sp2 hybridization, so it is planar. So that means all these three criteria are satisfied by the cyclobutane. But the Huckel rule, that is 4n plus pi 2 4n plus 2 pi electron rule is not obeyed, because see here how many pi electrons are there in cyclobutadiene. So there are 4 pi electrons in cyclobutadiene, because there are 2 pi bonds, that means each pi bond is having 2 electrons, so there are 4 electrons. Okay, now if we consider this 4n plus 2 rule, then if n is equal to 0, then the value comes as a 2. If n is equal to 1, then value comes as a 6. That means the 4n plus 2 pi electron rule is not obeyed, but it obeys 4n rule, because if we consider n is equal to 1, then 4 into 1 is equal to 4. That means it obeys 4n pi electron rule, and it does not obey 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So we can say that it do not obey the Huckel rule of aromaticity. So this is the only difference, but due to this difference, this cyclic compound, this cyclobutadiene, is highly unstable. This is highly unstable. Its energy is greater than its open chain counterpart. Its open chain counterpart is this butadiene. So the energy of this cyclobutadiene is greater than this butadiene. So we can say that anti-aromatic compounds are highly unstable as compared to aromatic compounds. Aromatic compounds are highly stable. So this is the difference between aromatic compounds and anti-aromatic compounds. I can explain. Now we'll see few more examples. Okay, now consider these three examples. First one is cyclopropene. Second one is its anion, that is cyclopropenyl anion, and third one is its cation, that is cyclopropenyl cation. Now we will see one by one. Now see this cyclopropene. It is cyclic in nature. Okay, it is cyclic in nature. Then whether there is a alternate single and double bond, so you will find here that there is a no alternate single and double bond, so you can say this is not a conjugated. Okay, again you will find here that this carbon is sp3 hybridized, so it is not planar. Again there are 2 pi electron, that means it obeys 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. If n is equal to 0, then it obeys the Huckel rule. We can say obeys Huckel rule. But in conclusion, we can say that this is not aromatic compound, not aromatic, because the two criteria are not obeyed. The first criteria of that is not conjugated and not planar. So though this cyclopropene is cyclic and obeys 4n plus 2 pi electron rule, but it is not conjugated and it is not planar. That's why we can say it is not aromatic. So it is unstable. Remember, unstable. Okay, now consider this cyclopropenyl anion. Now it is cyclic in nature. Okay, now you will find here that this structure can be represented in a resonance form. If we shift this bond here, then negative charge will come here. So in this way we can say that it is conjugated. Okay, this is conjugated and this is planar as well. So it is cyclic, conjugated and planar. But now count the number of pi electrons. So 2 pi electron from this bond and 2 pi electron from this anion. So there are 4 pi electrons. So 4 pi electrons means it do not obey Hakel rule, we can say Hakel rule. Instead, it has 4n pi electrons. So all these criteria are of anti-aromatic compound, so we can call it as a anti-aromatic compound. Anti-aromatic component. It is also unstable. So this is anti-aromatic compound. Now if we consider its cation, cyclopropenyl cation, then this we have seen in the previous videos. It is cyclic. Okay, it is conjugated. Okay, again it is planar, and it obeys 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So we can say that it is aromatic compound, and it is stable. So in this way we can explain the non-aromatic, anti-aromatic and aromatic behavior of the compound. Okay, we'll see few more examples. Okay, consider this example, that is cyclooctatetraene. You will find here that it is cyclic compound. Okay, then again it is conjugated because there is alternate single and double bond. Again it is a planar. As you see the structure, you can see that it is a planar structure, it is flat structure, and whether it obeys 4n plus 2 pi electron or 4n rule, that we will see. So there are 4 pi bonds, that means 8 pi electrons are there, 8 pi electrons. So that means we can say it do not obey 4n plus 2 pi electron rule, that is Hakel rule. Okay, so from all this we can say that it is anti-aromatic. Okay, so always remember cyclooctatetraene, if we consider it as a planar, then it can be called as anti-aromatic. But actually this cyclooctatetraene does not remain in this planar form, because due to ring strain it acquire a tube-like structure like this. It acquire this tube-like structure. Okay, so there is alternate single and double bond. It acquire this tube-like structure, and you will find that this tube-like structure is cyclic, conjugated, but it is not planar. It is not planar because tube-like structure is not planar. It is not a flat, and that's why we can call it as a non-aromatic. Okay, so always remember that if we consider cyclooctatetraene as a flat molecule, then it is anti-aromatic. But if actually it exists in a tube-like structure, why it exists in tube-like structure? Due to the ring strain, it acquire this shape, that is tube-like shape, and actually it is found in tube-like structure. That's why it is a non-aromatic, because it does not remain a flat, so it is non-aromatic compound. Okay, so in this way we can explain the aromatic compound, anti-aromatic compounds, and non-aromatic compounds. So in this video we have seen about the anti-aromaticity concept. So anti-aromatic compounds are cyclic, conjugated, planar, and it does not obey Hakel rule of 4n plus 2 pi electron, but they obey 4n pi electron rules. But due to this, anti-aromatic compounds are highly unstable as compared to aromatic compounds and as compared to their open chain uh, counterparts. Okay, so we can say that aromatic compounds is more stable and anti-aromatic compounds is less stable, and non-aromatic compounds is equally stable as compared to the corresponding open chain compounds having the same number of pi electrons. So this is what about anti-aromaticity concept. So in this video we'll stop here, and we'll meet in the next video with uh, another concepts. Okay, so have a nice day. Thank you.